Mabuhay ang Pilipinas! BB!
Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, or BBM, is set to win the presidential election in the Philippines by a landslide.
Sa ating paniwala,
Part of his winning formula, presenting his family's past as the country's glory days. Whitewashing, a legacy of corruption. A case of they fire you up, your mum and dad. His father, Ferdinand Marcos Sr., the country's notorious dictator, ousted by popular revolt in 1986.
This is my son, Ferdinand Marcos Jr.
His mother, Imelda, her shoes and wardrobe, symbols of excess, a country's coffers raided. Ferdinand Jr. is not alone on the presidential succession stage. Running for vice president alongside him, Sara Duterte, daughter of the country's last presidential strongman, Rodrigo Duterte. Bongbong has top billing, though. Half of the country's registered voters are below 30, so don't remember the family's backstory. Jim Laurie does, though. The legendary foreign correspondent for ABC was one of the first people inside the Marcos palace and Imelda's wardrobe after the family fled during the so-called People Power Revolution in '86.
This was just the sort of tip of the iceberg. The Marcoses were known for being acquisition leaders, if you will. They had stored, some say, up to $10 billion in various assets. Most of their assets, which were essentially those that had been stolen from the government, were taken out of the country.
He can't claim that there's any meaningful separation between him and his father's regime, can he?
His history is very, very much devotion towards the family, towards his father. He had a very close relationship with his father. Much of what he has done in the intervening years has been to rebuild in every way possible the legacy or reputation, if you will, of the Marcos family. And as we know, in recent years, his people have effectively used social media to sort of erase the blemishes, if you will, on the Marcos name and to build his father up as one of the great leaders of the Philippines.
In other words, Team Marcos developed a highly sophisticated Facebook campaign, a case of who controls the present, controls the past, and who controls Facebook, controls the lot. But that's not the whole story of this win. Marcos also tapped into something more profound, an electoral appetite for strongmen leaders with nostalgic narratives.